Okay, for starters this weekend, the games I will be watching. In the morning, it looks like I got San Diego at Jacksonville, and let me see here. Carolina at Green Bay. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Those are both games I wouldn't mind watching. Late, I've got Chicago at Seattle, and then Sunday night is New England and Buffalo, and Monday night is Tennessee at Denver. Those are the games I'm going to be watching. All right, now for some picks. I'm taking Indy over Kansas City. I just don't think Kansas City is that good of a team. They don't have Larry Johnson right now. Their defense has been struggling lately. And Indianapolis is pissed. They've lost 2 in a row. 2 games they feel they should have won. So I'm taking Indy at home. I think they're going to really just punch punch Kansas City's teeth in. Wish I was kind of getting this game just because I love to watch the Colts. And as for the Colts, hopefully they get Marvin Harrison and Tony Hugo back. They've got some injuries right now, and those haven't helped the last 2 weeks. And now Freeney's out for the season, and that is killer. And suddenly now I'm looking at an Indianapolis team that once again might have to start outscoring their opponents. Like, scoring 35, 40 points a game if they want to win against these good teams. Like, if they do indeed meet New England in the AFC Championship, I think they would have to put up 40 points to win because their defense is going to have a hell of a time holding New England without Freeney. So that's kind of a blow. They got Cincy over Arizona. I kind of took the home team here. I don't think either team is that good. Arizona only plays well against good teams so far this season. They seem to have a hard time against the lesser teams. And Cincy, I think with Chris Henry back in the lineup, I think they're going to start putting up some more points, so I'm going to take the Bengals. I got Jacksonville over San Diego. I just can't take San Diego seriously anymore. Ryan Leaf? Excuse me, I mean Philip Leaf or Philip Rivers or whatever you want to call him. He just looks so awful out there, I've always kind of disliked Philip Rivers for a number of reasons, and he just looks really awful out there, and I think the Jacksonville defense is going to give him fits all day. And I think Jacksonville might be getting David Garrard back, but either way, I think they can keep the ball away from San Diego and put a couple of points on the board. I think that'll be enough. I'm also putting Cleveland over Baltimore. At this point, Baltimore's offense is so pitiful, they have to either start Kyle Bowler, which I guess they are going to do, or Troy Smith, which sounds like a way out there option, but I don't think it would be that bad of an idea. He was great in college, and even though he doesn't look like he's going to be a good pro, maybe it's worth throwing him out there and let's see what happens. And, Cleveland's putting up these crazy points. I don't think Baltimore can take advantage of the poor Cleveland offense. I think Cleveland should go on the road and take this one. Philly over Miami. Westbrook might not play. I don't think it'll matter. Philly hasn't won 2 games in a row yet this season. Every time they win, the next week they lose, but I think they're going to end that this week. There's just not a lot to say about Miami. They're starting a rookie, first time at quarterback. They're just not they're just a pretty awful team right now. The atmosphere there is bad. The team lacks talent. Zach Thomas is out. Jason Taylor is gimped up. I'm pretty sure Philly takes this at home. I'm taking the Giants over the Lions because the very moment I decided to buy and believe partially in the Lions, they went and did that. That being losing convincingly to the Arizona Cardinals. I don't believe this team is capable of defending a team that can contain their pass rush, and I think the Giants may be that team. I also think that their offense is going to look rather helpless against the Giants' pass rush, which, overrated it may be, is still extremely good. 4 aces, like I said earlier this season. I'm pretty sure the Giants come away with a win in this one. They go on the road and beat Detroit. I'm just not totally sold into the Lions right now. Packers over the Panthers. Carolina's got all these quarterback issues. and their defense is massively underachieving. I think their season's over, and Green Bay's Green Bay. They find a way to win most close games. They're blowing a couple teams out. They found their running game. I'm pretty sure they win in convincing fashion here. I got Minnesota over Oakland. Adrian Peterson's out, but I like Chester Taylor enough. I like that defense enough to say that Minnesota will win at home. Oakland hasn't shown me anything in about a month here, so I think it's time to bring out Jamarcus Russell, and until then, I'm taking Minnesota. I got Tampa over Atlanta. This was kind of a tough pick for me, but, Tampa struggled over the last month or so. I think that their defense has really dropped off and their offense hasn't been quite the same, but I think they can avoid turnovers against Atlanta. That seems to be something they're pretty good at. And Byron Leftwich is starting, which is pretty idiotic on the Falcons' part, in my opinion. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Harrington's playing well. And now you want to bring out Leftwich for some reason. I don't get it. So I'm going to take Tampa. I don't trust Leftwich in this situation. He's coming off an injury and hasn't played much this season. I'm also taking the Saints over the Texans. I'm not totally sure about the status of Andre Johnson, but this pick could change if I hear Andre Johnson is going to play this week. If he is, I'm taking Houston, but I don't think he is. And without him, Houston has a really hard time doing anything offensively. I'm going to say New Orleans bounces back from last week and gets their offense back on track. So New Orleans it is. I got Pittsburgh over the Jets. Not a lot to say here. The Jets, they're going through some hard times right now, obviously. Pretty poor team. I think the coaching staff needs to get back to giving the ball to Thomas Jones a lot. Simply because I think he can give their offense a foundation to work from. And Clemens, who looked pretty good 2 weeks ago, could even look better with a dominant running game by his side. I'm taking Seattle over Chicago for reasons I discussed earlier. Dallas over Washington. It's an interesting sleeper pick because of the rivalry, but I'm thinking Dallas is going to come away with the win here. I just don't think Washington's that good of a team offensively. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Dallas. And they got injuries to the defense that should cripple them, like Sean Taylor. I got the Rams over the Niners. I think the Rams might get something going after last week when they threw up all them points against the Saints. I think that could spark them to a 4 or 5 wins this season. And San Francisco has gone, cold for the last two months, so there's not a lot to say here. They're just not that. At this point, they might be considered the worst team in the NFL just because their offense is so ridiculously stagnant. They're averaging like 4 yards a passing attempt. That's all you need to know. I'm taking the Patriots over the Bills. I thought the Bills could make this a game, and then now Marshawn Lynch is out. So without Lynch, I don't think they can make this a game. I'm pretty sure the Patriots win in a blowout here. And finally, in a really tough game for me, I'm going to take Denver over Tennessee. I'm not sure if Albert Haynesworth is playing. That would obviously make a difference. I may change this pick if Haynesworth plays. But I don't trust Vince Young right now. I think he's going to make enough mistakes in this game. I know Tennessee is going to be able to run the ball on Denver pretty easily, but they're going to have to throw eventually. I think Young's going to make some crucial mistakes. And Denver's offense, which I actually kind of like, is going to be able to capitalize. So those are my picks. See you guys after the games.